Hi, I'm Construction Gamer and this is Celtic City on City Skylines. This is going to be episode number 59 in the series, and in this episode we're going to be building a new power station for the city, a new nuclear power station, in order to fulfill all of the city's power needs that it has now, because it is quite a large city, about 113,000 Cims or something thereabout. In the last episode we built this little fishing village area, and I've finished it off now. I'm quite pleased with how it's turned out. All the buildings were individually plopped. I think it does need a couple of fishing boats or a couple of yachts or sailing boats just to finish it off, but I haven't subscribed to any just yet. I've put just a small farm to give it that kind of country feel around the outside. The brown that you see in there, that's just gravel painted over, and then I've put underneath the grass decals, and I think it actually, if you paint it with the brown with the gravel to have like a soil effect, I think it actually produces quite a good look, really, quite an authentic kind of UK looking field. Obviously when you zoom away the decals go away and you're just left with the brown, but when you zoom in it does look a heck of a lot better. I've also subscribed to, I know I said in the last episode I need to calm it down on the assets, but I subscribed to a couple of roads from the Mac Welshman road collection. I don't think I can zoom in too much. For some reason my computer is struggling a bit. The thing, you can just about see there's quite a lot of texture on that road surface, and it just gives it that more rural look. So I've gone for those along here. It's still thinner than a standard City Skylines vanilla road, so the buildings that we moved manually and moved them closer to the roadside are still in the right place, but it just looks a little bit better. I've replaced the main street with a cobble street as well, so again it's just got that texture in there. But yeah, I think the amount of texture detail in the roads is causing a few issues with my computer. I hope there's no sound glitching as I'm scrolling around. I've also put in a country road. I've upgraded this. This is from the Mac Welshman's pack as well, so this is a great looking road with a wall and all different details. So it is quite a detailed road, so it is quite power consuming on my system, I think, at this stage, but I just really like the look of it kind of snaking its way across that pass there and then into here. All these roads have been changed for the country roads by Mac Welshman. If we just zoom in a little bit there, you can see a little bit more detail with the texture. And yeah, again I've just upgraded these roads to the country roads and they just look a lot better. I've got a lot of tree planting to do down this kind of West Vale, I've called it. So yeah, lots of tree planting. I want this to be kind of a lush wooded area. I'm using like conifers and pine sort of trees along here, and it will look quite nice once finished. I've just let the theme manager get on and build the little theme that I put in. Not all the buildings are kind of country-ish, but I think they're close enough, so I'm just going to leave that doing what it's doing. So yeah, it's not looking too bad around here now. I'm quite pleased with that, with the West Fell little fishing village type thing. This is looking alright now. The West Shore pleasure area is slowly starting to come together, although some of the buildings are still complaining. Ooh, computer's struggling a little bit there. So yeah, in this episode, just making sure we've got enough money, which we do, 675. On the glitching of the sound, that sometimes happens but not a lot. You probably don't even notice it half the time, but if it does happen, it's because there's just an overload of OBS and my computer's just getting to the limits now. I've got 116,000 Cims actually, so we do have a lot of Cims and we've got a lot of detail in this, and like I said, starting to get close to the RAM limit which I have set now, especially with the power station which we're about to build, because we're going to be using some custom assets. These are by Ronix69 and Gerenable. I was tempted just to plonk in a standard nuclear power station, but I think I want to build a custom one which is available on the Steam Assets Workshop. If I've remembered, I will have, by the time this episode goes out, updated my Steam Assets list, because I haven't updated it for a while. So yeah, that needs updating. I was looking at this piece of land here and I just thought this looked perfect for the power station, so this is where it's going to go. There is, what am I looking for? That's in there, isn't it? Just going to use these paved roads for most of it. I'm just putting out some roads really basically for now, because the assets need road sides. Now there are several buildings with this pack, so you can see all the different, like a nuclear reactor there, pipes, whatever that is, a nuclear fan. Let's just have a look at that. Does that do anything? No, it doesn't do anything, unfortunately. We've got this water pump, which I will just plonk there for now, and cooling towers. Now the Dole nuclear power station that this is actually based on does have cooling towers like this, and they are impressive structures. Now, not sure how much are they, 1,000. Let's just place one. I would like these. The reference power stations that I've been looking at in the UK don't have cooling towers. They have, I'm assuming anyway, they would have some of these sort of things, which are like cooling packs. But I do like the look of the cooling towers. And now I have taken a look at the reference nuclear power station that these assets were based on, and they do have two large cooling towers, which we've placed, so we may as well keep them there now. I'm not entirely sure what they would be. Just place a few of them in, I guess. Got some pipes. Do they need to be on the roadside? Yes, they do as well. So I think what I will do is get in. It doesn't matter what the road is actually. Put in some road over there, and I'm going to get. I suppose I could have just moved these, use move it and whatever later on. But this water collection spout thingy, what I need is to extend out some of the key. So where is the key? I extend that round like that, using the more modern one with the kind of sheet pile look to it almost, and I think I'm actually going to have that right along the front as some sort of coastal defence. And now I just want to get, probably could use the marquee, but just going to just quickly try and get all these nodes. There are quite a few of them. I just want to raise this all to the same level, just so we're working on a nice flat. That was lucky. Completely pressed the wrong thing there. Right, so that's all level like that, and then I'm just going to get the C. Just push that down a little bit, so we've got the key, most of the key there, rather than the texture going up to it. And then just need to level that off a little bit. That's going to upset the water for just a while, and then this all wants to be on that sort of level, making sure we don't go too close to the key, otherwise we end up just undoing all the hard work that we'd already done. I just want to make sure we've got a nice flat build plane on which to work, like so. And then this water thingy, we're going to have to use move it mod just to move this out here, and then just chuck it in there like that. I think it's sufficiently far enough away from the shipping lanes in order so it's not going to get hit. So can we raise that up? No. Just have a look, see when those pipes start to go into the ground like that. So yeah, this probably, looking at it, would be seawater, but they can do some sort of desalination thing, I guess. So it's not the end of the world. And then we need to get rid of some of this road. Right, so this is going to be the main sort of road, I think. Yeah. And then we'll have a road coming down here to about there, and then another bit of road, and then the main building itself. So this would be the big building. What's that? 400,000, 8,000. That's 2,500 megawatts comes from this. So only one of the building actually produces any power, which is this main building which we've just placed. The rest of them are kind of dummy buildings, and they're just really more there for kind of the look. Why isn't I mustn't have subscribed to something. What's that? Garage. Not sure what that would be, but we'll place one down anyway. And that goes in the middle of the two main reactors, and we'll have the reactors over here. The reactors are these. That's where they would be located, in there, like so. And what else? We've just got loads of pipes and different things that we can play around with, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how we use some of these, but we got those in there. I don't know what that is. I think it did say in the description, actually, it doesn't. You do need to be subscribed to something or other, but I didn't really pay too much attention. It did say the mod would still work without it, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Right, we need to get this hooked up to some water. Get rid of some of this. Tidy these pipes up a little bit. Now this episode is probably going to be, this build rather, is going to be probably two parts. I'm just going to get the main buildings in place, and then I'm going to do a bit of detailing around. I suppose as we're putting down like a custom asset, that I may as well go to a little bit more effort with the actual build itself. Yeah, I don't think all this needs water, but we're just going to put it in anyway, because we might have some office buildings and things at some stage. It's a shame we don't get any steam coming out of there, but never mind. Right, so they are the main kind of buildings that come with the pack. But what am I looking for? Right, what I am looking for is the power icon. Power. So we're producing far too much power, and I'm just going to pause the game. We spent almost all of our money. Get rid of this. Get rid of most of these. I'll keep a couple because I just think they look quite interesting in that particular location. Get rid of them because I think this power station is actually, looking at it, is producing more than we could possibly need. So we can get rid of this wind farm here. Might just keep a couple of them. Are they connected? Yeah, they're still connected. And get rid of these ones here. Where is the rural? Yeah, the rural pylons are great, but they are quite small, so they can be challenged to see. Have we got them all? Underground power cables. Where is... Right, get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. Which is just a substation, which is just for show anyway, and just get that connected up with some underground cables. So just before I go any further, just want to make sure, just take stock of the power. I could probably get rid of this wave thing and just replace that with, can't build, yes you can, apparently you can't, right. We'll get rid of anything we're not using. That's connected up to there anyway. That has some power, but I will just put in one of them anyway. A couple of underground cables just to make sure we've got all of the power connected up correctly. Don't want any outages if we can help it. That's all connected up. We'll put a second kind of power bridge in there, so they're all connected up. Right, so what else have we got? We've got that. We've probably got wind turbines here. We've got wind turbines absolutely everywhere, which are probably costing a fortune to run. Right, so that's that. What else did we have? I'm pretty sure we had something else as well. Sure we did. Did I just dump something in around here? No. Oh yeah, just connect this up again with a power bridge. Get rid of some of these ones that we're not using because they don't cost a great deal, but they do cost per each one per week. So we do need to make sure we just haven't got ones which aren't really serving a purpose, and we'll put a couple more in. Oh no, that's connected up anyway with the rural pylons. So we'll unpause the game. We'll just put on quick for a minute and just see what this does. Yeah, we've still only got consumption of about. It fluctuates massively between 7 and 1200. So I think what I will do is, this is the last main power station that we built. This is the first kind of proper realistic looking one that I built, and don't want to demolish it, but I'm just going to turn them off, I think, for now, because yeah, like I said, put a little bit of detail and effort into this, so I don't want to demolish it, and it might be useful at some stage. You can come back and turn these on as and when, so yeah, we don't have to get rid of anything right away. I've got another couple of power things there. Oh, we got some water towers. They were probably the ones I was looking for in the last episode. But saying that, we do actually need some more water supply, so I think I'm just going to chuck one in next to the that water pumping station. And I will chuck in another one somewhere. Where did I build my main water purification centre? Can anyone remember? Yeah, I've got another one here, so I'll put another water tower next to that. Where did I build that main? Maybe that was the main one, perhaps. No, that's the sewage plant. I think that might be one of the main water buildings that I'd put in, perhaps. Quickly just scanning. Yeah, I'm just trying to put the water towers next to kind of locations where I think, trying to localize, centralize the water supply. Getting off track anyway, so let's look at the electricity supply. So that sounds about right. We're still producing some more somewhere else, but oh yeah, we've got a few incinerators and things, so we've got more than enough power to be getting on with. We've got the main buildings in. It doesn't look particularly interesting, does it? So I think we'll move the nuclear reactor, move the buildings a bit closer together. so that doesn't need to be a main road anymore. Get rid of those for now. I'm going to come back to them in a minute. Just want to put in a bit of road using this one. Turn off road guides. Don't like that often. And then just have a road over to there, because that'll need to be inspected, I guess. Like so. Another road over here. But what I did want to do, because we are on the waterfront, is some actual sea defences. Now I haven't got, like I said, I haven't got... Oh, I suppose I could use anarchy, couldn't I? Never mind. I don't have disasters turned on, so sea defences aren't actually really required, but I'm guessing you probably would, in this instance, have some sort of sea defences in order to protect against freak tidal waves, I guess. I'm no expert on these things, but yeah, we'll put some in anyway, just for peace of mind for the Sims, so they don't have to worry. And then I think, yeah, a bit of concrete never goes amiss. Oh no, we don't want it painted on the top. Just want that little slither of land between the quay and the sea defence. Yeah, I mean, this is right on the seafront, so it probably could do with some sort of defence. Up to there. Just to finish that. No, stop painting on the top of that. Right, and then come back in with this. Right, get rid of that. Using the concrete road to there, and then we just like an inspection road into there, and again just concrete paintbrush around the edge, just fill that little bit of gap in there, and then that's that done. Concrete everywhere to about there. Why is that doing that? That's strange. Doesn't normally do that with the... maybe it's because it's on a junction, doesn't like it. But we'll just have it to there anyway. I think we'll have maybe gravel in some locations and a bit of grass as well. Yeah, I think along this road bit here, you can't really see that because of the shadow there, but yeah, just put that gravel in there. Oh yeah, it's because it's on a junction, it doesn't like it. Never noticed that before. Right, so we've got more power than we could possibly use. We just want to quickly look again at these. Oh yeah, we will need one of these, won't we, to distribute the power. So that's the main turbine hall, and I think I can't collect that. Select. Whoa. Right, okay, move it. Move this somewhere over here. And then get rid of that little bit of road. I think I will have... How much do these cost? 16. Now, two of these massive transformer stations next to the turbine hall, I think that'd be more or less where they'd be located, close to where the power is actually being generated, to there like that, and then we'll have the pylons coming out from. Just make sure everything's on a nice... No, that's not working. We'll just have to try and get it by eye, I think. So from there, it's trying to join up, and then have the power coming out. No, that doesn't look right, does it? Right, so we will swap things round a little bit. So we've got the main turbine hall here, I assume. We'll put in another little bit of road to there, and then come in with the huge transformers. Like so, and then we will have the pylons coming out of here. Just need to try and zoom in. It's just trying to make them go off centre, which is frustrating. Right, go to there, and then you can go off to there to be distributed somewhere, and then you maybe just have these lined up just before this heads off in that sort of direction. I will just hook that up to there for now, but I do want to connect the pylons to another transformer at the other end, because that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I've been trying to do since we built that last realistic sort of power station. Just want to move, yeah, I'll have that connected up to there, and then I'll just use the movement just in case. I want to make sure this is perfectly serviceable. And this road, I think, wants to be this one instead. Like so, and then we can just get on and put this somewhere. Don't seem to be able to grab that without using the moving mod. Chuck that in there, and then we'll use the warehouse. I think we'll just have a random warehouse. It does bring people in as well. It has some employment. Just helps fill the area out a little bit, and then move these over to here so everything's a bit more condensed, a bit more close together. Like so. Obviously I've got to come in with the pave. No, it doesn't look quite right, does it? That one. How wide's that? Well, that's should be just wide. Just about as wide as that. Now, does that cover the... no, it doesn't. It doesn't cover the blue mantle, so it is going to have to be the... if I spell it correctly, the asphalt. It's not quite the... it's not quite... it's definitely completely not the right texture for this, but it does get rid of the little blue mantle that tries to pop through, so we're just going to have to live with the asphalt texture. Unfortunately, we can get rid of those crossings. Oh no, wrong one. Just to get rid of... yeah, we'll go with that. We're putting them in there anyway, so we may as well get rid of these zebra crossings, and it just gets rid of that little bit of blue mantle that we have poking through. So I think most of this area is just going to be... no, it's not going to be. It's not going to be gravel. It's going to be. It's going to be concrete all around here. Again, we're not doing the detailing in this episode. I do want to do a little bit more in the next episode. What about there? Yeah, it does destroy that. The junction for some reason. Put that to there. And then we use the pavement actually. Oh yeah, I've never noticed that before. Just put some pavement back in there just to get rid of a little bit of whatever it's trying to do. So yeah, and then what else do we want? We've got some industry demand, so I think if we have, connect that up to there. Do we have any more warehouses? Obviously we've got the ones that work. Yeah, we'll just put in like a warehouse, I think. Another one of those. And then we will look for growables, get rid of that. See what sort of offices now. I'm a bit hesitant to put some offices in because obviously we're quite far away from anything, but it definitely does need some sort of administrative building of some description. Or two. What's that saying on the side? What's that? Taco. Yeah, right, no. Probably more stuff like that. Pretty sure I turned off the signs. Options. What's the mod called that turns off signs? Advanced vehicle. We do have a lot of mods installed. Find it. Prop. Ultimate. No. What is the mod called? Continue. No, it's not going to be that, is it? Light. Fine. Advanced. Prop remover. Yeah. Let's try that again with that turned on. Yeah, that's... No, I thought... Damn it. What's that saying? Vault Tech. I suppose we can live with that. But I do prefer the look of that building. Maybe another one of those. And try and merge it in. Again, I wasn't really supposed to be doing any sort of really detailing in this episode, but just want to get the office buildings in. Yeah, it looks quite good. I suppose we could get some others in as well, see what else we've got lying around. Just to fill out the space, and then we're obviously going to need, the offices will need some sort of car park. We'll have the secure fenced off parking that I built, just dead simple, bit of industrial fencing around it, just to fill out the area a bit, make it look a bit better. And we're on the right. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's not helping that we've got the full game speed on there. Get that in there. Yeah, because this area around here, the area that I'm painting with the concrete brush, I want to have sort of different props and things on it, obviously like containers, and I've got trucks and trailers and stuff that I can be putting in there just to fill out the space, make it look a little bit more interesting. So I've got plenty of stuff to be putting in there. So that's like that, looks a bit better. But yeah, I think I could possibly do with some more buildings. I think we need to have a look at these pipes and things just to make the whole build look a little bit more interesting. Middle reactor, yeah, so that's the one, that's that one. I think only two. We haven't left enough space for. Chop two of them down. Move the warehouse a little bit. And then we'll have some pipes going into one of the reactors. Like so. I should probably have had a little bit more of a look at some reference material just to get a good idea of where the different aspects are, the more, you know, the pipes and things like that. Got a general idea of where things go, but not the finer details of the pipes, because you've got things like this where the pipe just ends, so obviously it needs to go into something. Yeah, so we'll use them because I do tend to like my symmetry. So chuck that in there, making sure it's all nice and symmetrical looking. It needs to be about there. Yeah, I do like having a bit more symmetry in things. Make sure that's not too close, that's fine. Put in a few of these. Makes it look a little bit better. And yeah, I would like to use them somewhere, but they obviously you've got to have your buildings in the sort of right location for that to work. What's going on here? Right, so chuck a couple of them down. That's another set which can be. Now, can this go into here? Maybe. No, don't do that. I want the pipes. Oh no. Come on. Let me have the pipes. So move that out of the way. Put that in. Spin that round. Put that into there. Just want to make sure there's a garage, but that should be alright. Let's just have a look. Yeah, they're not going into the garage, are they? They're actually going into buildings. So we'll just wait until it's just touching, like so. Just have another, see how close I can get, and then move that in to there. Are those pipes going into those windows by any chance? They are, aren't they? There must be somewhere these pipes can go. I just want to use them. I just want to get them used. Right, spin that around. Not you. Yeah, they don't go. What about here? This flat bit. Spin you around again. Actually, what? No. Must live somewhere. No, we spent too much time messing around with pipes. We'll chuck this back in. And we'll have it, I think, on its own or touching, or are they joined up to stuff? I might revisit those pipes at some point. Right, and just make sure this is back in the right place. So they look alright anyway, they don't look too bad. And they're doing whatever they do. I think I might just get rid of one of them. We'll have 2 banks of 3 there, like so. Now, I'm not sure if there's any sort of industries buildings that we can use. Growables, all. Have a quick scan through some of the industrial buildings. What are they? Sort of container things. I think actually we'll put in a bit of road in here to about there. I know we're going to have obviously mantle under here. Yeah, I'll put some of these. These look interesting. They'd look a hell of a lot better if they weren't in different colours. Yeah, it would. I'm pretty sure when I've seen builds that others have done, that they have cycled through the colours, because it's a bit quicker than it's a bit quicker than placing loads of random buildings until you get the right colour. If there is a mod there that allows you to do that, then please do let me know. Right, we'll spin that around. I don't know what they are, they're just interesting looking tanks of some description. Put them in there. And again, just kind of interesting looking general buildings that we can just place around. What's this? That looks quite interesting. I would have liked... Actually, you know what? I've just been messing around with the colours of them buildings. I've got colour picker, so I can select the colour of the buildings. Paste. Right, so we'll have those matching like that. I think I might just have a little bit more parking over here, like so. Yeah, so it's starting to come together, I think. Yeah, right, and I just want to need to get all ass. Right, so need to get rid of this little bit of blue mantle that tries to poke through. Yeah, we've got some wood being delivered, which I don't think is entirely accurate, but we will allow it, just for the sake of having those buildings, which look quite interesting, without being too, they're like nondescript, I guess you would call them. So that doesn't need anything. We've got the blue mantle sorted there. I'm not sure if I want to paint concrete underneath of the cooling towers or not, but I think I'm just gonna leave them as they are, I think, for now. I'm going to take a quick gander at some more reference material before we do any of the detailing in the next episode. We might do some more, might not just focus solely on the power station in the next episode. But yeah, just want to get the main buildings in, which I think it's starting to fill out alright actually. It doesn't look too bad, considering I'm just winging it. So yeah, I've got cooling towers in there, got a bit of wonky sea defence, the water thing there. Obviously there is a bit of a breach. We'll move that to about there, need that to be those lined up like so. And then just get rid of, oh, we've got a, actually, what is that? I'm guessing that is a decal or a bit of road. That's the bit of road, so we just move that over a little bit to there, and then move that sea defence in a little bit to there. Get rid of some of this paint, and then just gravel, a bit of gravel in there, like so. So yeah, there we are. Apologies if there was any glitching in the sound. If there was, do actually let me know. And I think one of the remedies would be in future is to pause the game while we are whilst I'm playing it, and that way it should just settle things down a little bit, and my CPU shouldn't get overloaded. I mean, it shouldn't anyway. I know it's an old AMD FX, but it should be enough for this. So yeah, there is. The power station looks alright, I think. Like I say, I want to do quite a bit of detailing. I want to get rid of that blue mantle before we go any further. Possibly might be a short episode today. I am a bit. I've been pushed to time for the last couple of weeks, unfortunately. Do try and get my episodes to be between 30 and 40 minutes, which most of that will be pretty much detailing in the next episode. Maybe a few more buildings and things like that using the Find It mod. And obviously there's got running out of workers already, not enough workers. I think before I wrap up, I just want to get in a shuttle bus. Now that'll need somewhere to turn round, which I do not like my buses turning round at the end of roads. I know it is, actually we will, What am I doing? Right, get that in there. About there, and then 60, 60, 60 is about the minimum I think you can get away with for making roundabouts in the particular manner that I build them, and then just one-way street around that. It's a bit not entirely necessary. I could I suppose put a street off there like that, and then another one which has built a bridge, force the terrain up to there. That is better. Again, we are going to have, well, obviously we've got a junction, but we're going to have some blue mantle as well poking through, so just get rid of that before I go any further. Why is that disappearing? Right, put that in place. Like so. I don't know why that's... Well, I do know why that's done that. It's because the terrain is all at a different height. Right, so that wants to be all the same height as that. And then those, obviously... Oh, I'm deleting everything that I don't want to delete. Right, let's try and get this in, shall we? So that into wherever it was joined up before. Maybe if we delete the gravel, like so. Try and get this road in. Is that 180? Doesn't look like it is. Just all I wanted to do was a little simple bit of road. Is a blue mantle there is, so we will have to quickly just sort that out, like so. Yeah, we're running out of employees, and like I said, we're quite far away from residential centres, but we've got a rail service in here. So what I want to do is a little shuttle bus that comes into there and then picks up people from here. Need to turn off, put in some restrictions in place, turn off U-turn, so hopefully the bus should go around the roundabout rather than just doing a U-turn in the middle of the road. Hopefully that should get a few people over this sort of direction. What I need to do is, in the next episode, with the detailing episode, we're going to put in the security gate over here, because obviously it's going to be a high security area. Obviously need some fencing and loads of containers and trailers and whatnot, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. So yeah, we've got our buses. I want to make sure the buses are actual modded buses, which is, we haven't got a name for this, we'll just have that as a luminous nuclear green, and I think all we're going to need are the little big yellow buses, and that is bus line 27, so it's Celtic Nuclear Power Station. Very creatively named there. Yeah, we just got the little any kind of little shuttle routes that really aren't going to be heavily used. I use these little Opter Solo little mini buses for. Doesn't make a difference to the cost, but I think it just looks a bit more fitting for a little shuttle bus route, which there has just generated loads and loads of buses, but I suppose it is quite far. Not going to put any into here, am I? Possibly not. No, I think I will leave that. Just yeah, we'll leave that as is. I think I'm going to leave it there for today, and maybe a short episode. But we've got the basis of the nuclear power station in. Like I said, I will be updating my assets list, which will obviously have this. So in the description below, there will be a link to my assets list. There always is in every episode, but I will just make sure it is updated with all the latest mods that I'm using for this series. So we'll leave it there for today. We'll do a bit of detailing in the next episode. And we'll leave you there with the nuclear power station and say until next time, bye bye.